Why did you reject your partner's proposal? Everyone used to say we were the perfect couple. 5 years together, a cute little apartment with plants we kept forgetting to water, summer trips where we always lost at least one suitcase, and brunch every Sunday with our loud group of friends. Every time someone teased us with, "When's the wedding already?" I would laugh and shrug, but deep down there was always this weird pit in my stomach I couldn't explain. He was a good guy. No drama, no cheating, no screaming matches. Smart, had a stupid sense of humor that always made me laugh even when I didn't want to, and he looked good in a leather jacket. I told myself that's all love had to be. Comfortable, steady, something you could rely on like your favorite hoodie. One Saturday night, we were supposed to be celebrating him landing a promotion. We dressed up, went to this ridiculously fancy rooftop restaurant, and I figured it was just a normal night out. Then in the middle of dessert, he stood up, dropped down on one knee, pulled out a ring that looked like it cost more than our rent. Everyone around us started clapping. Some woman even gasped and put her hands over her mouth. I felt the blood drain from my face. My hands were shaking under the table. He was smiling like he already knew I'd say yes. I smiled back, almost like my face was stuck that way, and for half a second I thought maybe I could fake it. Just nod, figure it out later. Instead, my voice came out small but clear. I said, "I can't. I'm sorry." You could hear a pin drop. The waiter who was halfway to our table turned on his heel so fast he almost tripped. I saw someone recording us and I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. He just stood up, put the ring back in his pocket without a word, and sat down. The rest of dinner passed in this heavy silence. He paid the check with his jaw tight and his eyes red. The car ride home was worse. He didn't turn the radio on, didn't even yell or cry, just asked, "Can you at least tell me why?" I stared out the window the whole ride, feeling like the villain in every story. When we got home, he slept on the couch and I lay awake in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I just made the biggest mistake of my life. For a long time after, it felt like everyone else thought I had. Mutual friends slowly stopped texting. Brunch invites dried up. My own sister told me I was being selfish, that real love wasn't supposed to feel exciting all the time, that I should have just said yes and dealt with the cold feet later. And maybe I would have kept thinking they were right if I hadn't started noticing all the little ways we had been living two completely different lives under one roof. How every time I talked about moving to another city or going back to school, he would laugh and say, "You always have crazy ideas." How whenever I mentioned wanting kids someday, he would change the subject or crack a joke. How when I shared a short story I wrote, he would smile politely and then talk about his fantasy football league. It hit me one afternoon while unpacking boxes because we had broken the lease. He loved me, but he didn't know me. Not really. Not the messy parts. Not the parts that dreamt bigger than this life we had built. I didn't say no because I didn't love him. I said no because I finally realized love wasn't supposed to make you feel small. It wasn't supposed to be about fitting neatly into someone else's plans. It was supposed to be about seeing each other. Really seeing. And I deserved that. We both did.